the Zbrush tips and tricks series that I started. Most of the people know that you can customize your UI by going under Preferences, Config, Enable, Customize. That's kind of how I got all those buttons there, right? What most people don't seem to know is that you can also make like actual custom menus. Like I have this menu here, like this one, which is actually very handy. And I will show you in this video, I will show you why and how you can use that. So if I just close this for a second, I can go under Preferences and I can say Enable Customize, right? And I can go under Custom UI, Create New Menu, and I'm going to type this, call this one Custom 2, because I already have like custom menu, right? So I'm going to call this Custom 2. And as you can kind of see, we get a new button here on the top with nothing in it. So what I can do is I can actually just drag this to the left or to the right. Is a little bit easier for me. So I'm just going to put it here. And what I can do, or actually I am going to put it on the other side. I can now drag like everything that I use a lot. Like normally if I have to go to geometry, modify topology, delete hidden, mirror and weld, etc. and then have to go back to deformation and do all that kind of stuff, you can kind of see that it's a lot of like surging, and that's something that you can easily just cut down by making custom menus. If I open up like mine that I use all the time, like you can see that there's a lot of buttons in there that are scattered across all the menus. So if I actually just make a new one, like if I use this one and actually let's just start with like a basic one, which can be maybe Dynamesh, right? So because I have Enable Customize turned on, at least I should have, yes, I can hold Control Alt on my keyboard and I can just like drag a button. So I can just like drag it here, drag it into the menu, and I can, and now it's like in there. So I can actually drag everything that I want, anything that I want in there. So I can like drag the resolution slider in there. I can grab like the blur perhaps, and the project. So you can kind of like drag everything in there. I'm not going to put everything in there, but as an example, I'm going to put like a couple things in there that might not necessarily make that much sense because I don't, maybe not use them all the time, right? What I can also do, now let me just first add something more. Like if I add like dynamic so that I can check if it's actually turned on. Sometimes what might happen is that it actually like moves, in this case, the resolution down, so I can hit Control Alt and orient it like in the actual menu itself. I can hit like drag the apply button in there. Smooth subdivision. I want to see the level perhaps. And now you can kind of see that it doesn't start, like it starts to become already a little bit messy, right? Because it's like we have Dynamesh and Dynamic like right underneath each other, so it's a bit hard to see. But if I go under Preferences and Custom UI, I can actually like drag a bar and I can actually put that in the middle. And then when I turn off Enable Customize, you will kind of see that it sort of splits it off a little bit. There's a little bit of a gap there. So that makes it a little bit easier to see. Some UI, and I can just drag another one there. And then we can go into polygroups, group by normals or something. Drag that under. Group mask points, or maybe the new feature, group change points. And so basically you can like really like start to define those menus, right? Like if I now go into brush, for example, and maybe grab clay brush, and actually, as you can see, I can also just drag the brushes in there. So it's really useful. So let's just say that we are done with the menu because I don't want to make the videos too long, right? That's kind of the whole point of this series. So if I then say Enable Customize, turn it off. So now we have this custom menu. But what I have with my custom menu is that I can actually just, wherever my pointer or my mouse is, I can just call it. Which is kind of what I want to do with this one. So I'm just going to close it for a second because I technically don't need it. If I press Control Alt on like a button and don't move it, like don't drag it, I can just like give it a, you can kind of see, I can press any key combination to assign a hotkey press escape or mouse button to cancel, press delete to remove previous custom assignments. So in this case I could make it shift W or something like that, because I have shift Q for the other one, and you will see that it says on the top custom hotkey assigned successfully. So if I now just move and I hit shift W, you can see that the menu actually gets called, and now I can just like grab the clay brush and group everything by normals if I need to, right? So, and this is kind of how I built this one. So that's like another quick trick to, not necessarily trick, I think it's very essential. So if you don't have a custom menu like that, definitely make one, and also customize your UI, because it's going to save you a lot of time. Like you can see, you can drag anything you want in there. So yeah, I hope this helps. Like the last time, like I said last time, if you have requests or want to see something specific, or you're uncertain about something, by all means drop a request, and I'll see what I can do. Yeah, see you in the next one.